episode 58. I don't have a crazy intro. This is kind of like, it's been 2 months and I'm ready to tell you straight up what it is, what's been going on with TGS Marketing, what's been going on with me, what's happening, okay? And this is how I blame my family for how my business has shifted literally in the past 5 months. Crazy to say. And just like, I'm just so you are aware, if you did not know, we are already in May. Okay. So 2 months ago, I left you Be With Me Coach, and it's a 12-part series where entrepreneurs like you and I gave me the opportunity to solve their burning business and marketing and brand strategy problems and share them with you here. And then the very last episode, episode 57, I had a quick strategy chat with Mara. She is the founder of Zenith Creative & Co. We talked about all things strategy, design, and even AI. So if you haven't watched any of those episodes, go back and watch them all, okay? We talked about what to do, what not to do, and what you could do for your business. Now this new AI is coming out, and how can it just work for you, okay? So what has happened? What's new with me, TGS Marketing, since we've last met? All right, number one, I have launched my very own CRM. Now, if you don't know what the hell is a CRM, it is TGS Marketing, which is my brand, my business, very own software, okay, that every business should have. And I say should have, but every business needs a CRM, okay, to run, manage, automate, and even scale every part of their business. So it stands for Client Relationship Management. And I haven't publicly launched it yet, but my team and I have been pitching the software to local businesses around the area, my area, and certain areas in other states. It's been a huge success, by the way, I must add. And I'll talk to you more about that in a few minutes. Number two, February 12th, I hired 3 salespeople and then I fired them 6 weeks later. This was to help me push the brand. I mean, not only the CRM, but also the brand and other services that I was offering. Okay, it was a fucking nightmare. And to be honest, I am to blame. I'm literally am to blame. More on that coming up. Third, March and on, really, TGS Marketing has partnered with 4 brands after they went through my signature program, Structure Me Coach, and Stick to the End to learn how to create subscriptions and memberships for your business, okay? And if you don't know what Structure Me Coach is, a signature 10-week program that I have that takes your ideas, right? Takes all of your ideas, takes a concept and turns it into a profitable business in just 10 weeks. Very structured, very on time, we need to do this next. Here's a small clip of one of my clients that just they went through Structure Me Coach, and this is what he had to say. I guess you answer the question, the approach of, when people want something, they're like, this is what I need. This is what I want. This is how much I'm paying you. Can you do it? Because I know for me, I set those boundaries even before payment, even before
You do
contract.
it so quick, Teresa. Literally, you do it so, like, you're so good at it. When I first, because if people don't know already, I've worked with you. And when I was on that call with you, after we got done, I was like, damn, I hope she likes me. I was like, I feel like, and it wasn't like, oh, because she's mean or anything. It was just like you were asking questions that were like, are you ready for this? And I was like, I don't know, dude. Like, I think I am. But, like, I'm nervous. And
You know, from time to time I rewatch the video because I like to learn from like my calls and stuff like that. I'm like, oh girl, oh my goodness.
I was so nervous, but it made me sit here and be like, am I ready to do the work to make the change for this? Because if I don't, I'm giving her this much money for me to not be ready to do what she told me I need to do to succeed, right? So I had to sit there and I was like, man, am I ready for this? Like, am I ready? And I sat there and I was like motivated. I was like, yeah, I am ready. Like, she made really good points. She asked really good questions. And like this feeling I'm feeling, I think is more like, yeah, dude, like I am ready. And I liked your military style, your military style approach, because it's like no bullshit, right? It's like, are you ready to do this? This is how this is gonna go. Are you gonna be able to follow this timeline, follow this process with me? Because if you do, you're going to be successful. If you don't, you're not going to get what you wanted back on your investment, right? So after you agree that this is how we're going to move forward, you're now taking accountability that you're going to do the work that needs to be done to move it forward, right? So like
Absolutely.
that,
That was my goal, my hope
yeah,
for you. And if people are wondering, oh, she's here, so it must have worked. Yes, she's here
it
because
snapped me into shape so quick. And just to talk about like numbers for a second, and this is real facts, okay? I'm gonna like judge you up a little bit right now. The
oh
amount
no.
of money that I spent on your process, right? That was the first time I ever invested money into coaching. So I was like, I was scared, right? I was like, oh my,
Wow.
I'm going to be giving money to somebody. And it, to me, I was like, oh, I'm giving money to somebody that I don't have a promised return on, right? Because you can't promise me a return on anything. You can only promise that if I follow these steps, that there should be a return. But you can't I'm not promising this,
Yeah.
right? Which is scary, right? But that's what happens when you get a coach. They're
So fucking scary. Okay,
guiding.
because when I did my heart, I was like,
Yeah, because you have to sit there and be like, I can't promise you anything's gonna happen after this. You know what I mean? That's on you. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna invest this money. I'm nervous. I'm scared. And then I kid you not, not even like 2 weeks later, because it was an 8-week program I think I did with you. And
yeah,
I was like quarter of the way through and it was paid off. Like I think it was like double paid off, actually. I
wow,
think the first client that I got after that was like paid off what I paid for you, plus like a significantly amount more, right? And it was because I had confidence in this coaching that I was developing, and that confidence, not even just the skills you were teaching me, just the confidence of knowing that I was taking the step of bettering my business and like really being active on it, immediately made me confident in doing things that I was already doing and was making me do them better and more sufficiently and like confidently, right?
wow,
Which was cool. But then, of course, I implemented the skills that you did, and it made sense. And I was able to show up more confident. I was able to be consistent and do what I had to do. So, and they worked, right? Which was cool. And a lot of those things are the reasons why I'm able to run my business by myself, is because of the systems and the tools that you gave me and, found out worked for me. It gave me clarity.
see what I mean? Number 4, TGS Marketing is on track to hit $1 million by the end of 2025. And I literally could scream. If you ask me, I could scream. And right now I'm getting goosebumps because just the thought of it, back in 2021, really, when I initially started TGS Marketing, I would have never imagined to even think about that or touch that. It was more like, who can I help? Who is the next person? How can I help them? How can I structure their business? How can I scale their business? How can I automate their business, right? That's literally what I thought about. Now I'm just like, there's no way. Like, this is just crazy. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that. And I'm going to teach you how this finally happened, because I want you to do this for your business, okay? I want this to happen for your business. I need to tell you what I had to do, what I had to change in order to even be on track to that. Number 5. This one's tough because I usually, every time I do these things, when I start this, I don't ever announce it. I don't ever tell nobody about it. I kind of just do it and like call it a day, and then some way I lose track of that, and it's like back to zero. And a lot of us suffer from this, but I've made it to the point where I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to tell the world, and you guys are going to keep me accountable. So I personally started my weight loss journey after giving birth to my last born 9 months ago. And I know I'm just like, I'm thinking about it. It's just crazy. But yes, I've started my weight loss journey. And let me tell you, it is nothing but easy. It is not, it is the hardest thing I probably ever done for myself, because just a tiny backstory, because I'm going to tell you a little bit more about it in a few minutes, but just a backstory. Every time I wanted to get in shape, I just joined some type of sport. And then the last time I joined the military. So I can't join a sport, and then I can't join the military. So now this is literally all free willy, like nilly. This is just me, like structure, discipline. Let's go, eating right. Okay, let's get right into it. And the first thing that we're going to talk about is the CRM, because you're probably wondering, Teresa, I want to know about the CRM because this sounds so awesome. Yes. When I tell you that we've been talking about this, we've been perfecting this, we've been just planning this, brainstorming this for over a year, and we finally going to be launching it this year. It is, when I first had the thought of like, man, I was tired of paying for CRMs. By the way, I was using HoneyBook, and I wasn't using it to its full potential, and I was just like, this is not it for me. And I used it for about 3 years. I had a tons of automations in there. I had my agreements in there, my contracts. I had clients in there. I just didn't like how they were taking money from me. Like how expensive it was to run, for a client to run their credit card through the CRM. They would take a large percentage. And I'm like, if they're going to take a large percentage, that means I have to up my price so I can at least make it back. It's just a whole shebang. So little by little, I started just getting this bad taste for HoneyBook. Yes, it's amazing. It's seamless. It's easy. But it's also, everything comes at a price, right? So the CRM, I thought about, okay, what do business owners need the most in CRMs, coming from a entrepreneurship, business, marketing background? And there you have it, TGSM Solutions. Okay, so short for TGS Marketing Solutions. And it's a software that helps you run, manage, automate, and scale every part of your business. And the goal behind it is to help business owners have less programs that are just literally milking their pockets. You know, $50 here, $200 here, $300 over there, $500 over here. I mean, TGSM Solutions replaces over 17 platforms, okay, and softwares, including DocuSign. Okay, you guys know how much that is when we want to sign contracts. MailChimp, HubSpot, Pipedrive, Calendly. We all love Calendly, but it also replaces it. ActiveCampaign, Webflow. And that's just to name a few. And it easily integrates with QuickBooks, Google, Facebook Messenger, and that's just to name a few. To add, we even host websites right inside the CRM. And what can it do? Okay, what can it do? Because talk about do it all. It creates pipelines, management, creates sales funnels, forms, surveys, email marketing, SMS marketing. Hello. Reputation management, one of the most important things for a small business. Membership plus courses. I mean, how much is Teachable? How much are these other course hosting platforms that are literally an arm and a leg? Okay. Talk about all in one. TGSM Solutions has it all. So for the last year, we've been perfecting it for you. So if you're interested in learning more, click the link below. If you're listening through, a podcast, if you're watching this on YouTube, link below on the show notes to schedule a live demo with me, and I'll literally show you everything, and you're gonna love it because I'm telling you, it is the best. Number 2, this is going to lead me to the 3 salespeople I hired because I needed help. I mean, that is the whole point of being a business owner. Outsourcing, that's something that time is very valuable. And so I hired 3 people to help me push the CRM and other services that I offer. And so, yeah, that was a total nightmare because when I did the job posting, I was very clear about pay. I was very clear about what they were going to be doing. I was very clear about my expectations. I mean, if you work with me and if you know me, you know that I expect a good amount back, right? I will literally be with you hand in hand, something that, I really don't like doing. I don't like micromanagement, but I will literally be there with you, helping you until you're able to run and have your own rhythm when it comes to the processes and tasks that I give you, right? Well, total nightmare, because I was very clear about communication. I was very clear about expectations. I was very clear about pay. I was very clear about the tasks. And the first week was great. Okay. The first week was great. But one of the red flags that I should have known or should have seen, I mean, like I said, this is why I blame myself and I'm the one to blame. But one of the red flags is when they don't ask questions, like not even one. And I would think as a coach, okay, it's important to ask questions because that also lets me know that you're intrigued, you have determination, you want to learn how to do it, you want to get it fast, right? You want to get paid, right? But no, they did not ask any questions, okay? That was red flag number 1. Red flag number 2 was the fact that the communication wasn't there. I mean, we were communicating through WhatsApp. I had a group chat with all of them, all of them. And I say, hey, if you have any questions, please message me through there. If it's personal, message me through iMessage or, wherever you feel comfortable, where literally ever you feel comfortable, but message me. Let me know what the deal is. If you have any questions, if you have any concerns, anything like that, nothing. When I mean crickets, and I was just like, okay, they must get the job. Like they must be, this is rare. But as you all know, this is a red flag, okay? Communication, red flag. If you have no communication whatsoever with the person that you hired, that is a red flag, all right? Right? If the person that you hired does not ask any questions, that is a red flag, okay? 2 red flags already. But hey, I'm the type of person that I like to give chances, okay? And this cost me a couple $1,000s. Just a couple $1,000s, okay? And so I'm like, okay, ladies, let me know. It's already week 1, about to end. We haven't gotten anything. Red flag number 3. And, the red flags just keep coming. And you're probably wondering, like, Teresa, I mean, you should have known. Like knowing you should have just fired them a long time ago. But again, I was giving them a chance. Why? Because they lived in my neighborhood. And, I didn't want that bad vibe or anything like that because at the end of the day, when you have enemies in your neighborhood, that's not good. Okay? That is just not good, right? Especially how close-knit this neighborhood is that I live in. There was no communication. There was just nothing. And I kept it going. First week ended. Okay. I set some ground rules, I was like, hey, let's have a meeting just in case you guys have questions that, maybe you don't want to ask. And I'll do a little sales training just in case, I sent them this elaborate sales script and everything that all they had to do was literally I'm telling you, I gave them all, but there was no effort being put. And then payday came around and I'm like hesitant to pay them because I'm like, you guys haven't done anything. There's just nothing. To mind you, there's commission in this. Okay. Thankfully, they didn't earn their commission because, they didn't do anything. But, and that just kept on. I was like, you know what? Another chance. I just literally kept giving them chances until the last week, which is week 6. I was like, you know what? I sent them an email, all 3. Kind of like a very professional email, and only one answered. Only one answered, thanking me for the opportunity. The other 2 did not, and it's just been like that. And I'm just like, in my mind, I'm like, if you see the job and you decide to take it, and we do the interview, and I tell you what it is, and you agree, and you're excited, and you sign all the agreements and the NDAs and all your your personal information for the payroll and all that stuff, yet you don't do anything. I don't understand that concept. Like, how do you move forward so long? Like, that's embarrassing. That for me, that's embarrassing. You know what I mean? That's embarrassing. Anyway, that's what happened with the 3 salespeople. And if I'm being honest, They all had businesses. So they were all trying to get information from me. Okay. That's the way I can put it, because there was no communication whatsoever. There was no asking question whatsoever. There was just like, yes, send me all of this and I'll read through it. And there was no results. I'm like, I need a result driven salesperson. They all agreed. No result. So what does that mean? I mean, as a business owner myself, somebody that I hired, obviously you're trying to milk me, right? Anyways, fired. Okay. I had to fire them because that I couldn't. So guess what? I took my matters into my own hands. All right. And I started pitching the CRM and my services. I went back to year one of my business. Okay. I pitched to 3 people about the CRM and my services, and then the fourth came to me out of nowhere based on my content. Back like to year one, right? So because of this, I have 4 brand management clients. Okay, and this is all what they had to say about the 10-week Structure Me Coach program and how it helped them.
I am amazed with the website. When you sent us that video of like the first snapshot of the website, it is something that I never could imagine to create myself. Like, so for me, that was like the point where, bam, this is real. This is the website, the social media, and everything.
For me, I think everything from the beginning, because I think how many weeks have we been into it now? And honestly, I would have never guessed 14 weeks because I feel like we just started. But with your help, honestly, I think we'd still be looking at our logo and trying to decide how it should look if it wasn't for you.
Personally, basically, it's just increasing knowledge on this whole process. Probably getting us a little bit more comfortable for the next endeavor, getting us a little bit out of our comfort zone as well, and just being able to grow as a business owner. So
Absolutely. Having us really look into what we really want to accomplish actually made our passion, it fueled it even more. You know what I mean? It started off as a little campfire, but now it's like a bonfire in the middle of the field. We really want to get this out there and get it out to people so they can taste what we think is very good quality. So yeah, thank you for that.
give yourself reasonable deadlines
Absolutely.
and stick to it.
Yeah, and prioritize the more important things in the business plan, right? Not just the logo can change at any time, so that's one good example. But really prioritize timelines, like Jose said. I think that was the biggest thing, is staying track on timelines to get everything done.
I think we're lucky to have you for the next year, to not only after the structuring of the company, to be a part of it and kind of, like you said, make it your baby. So having you for the next year, the plans are obviously to expand, right? We have our 6th original roast and brews that we're putting out, and with your recommendations, right, putting out more single source coffee from all over the world, being able to bring that to your home and market, right? Put it out there on social media, pay for the ads. It's going to cost money, but it's going to be something that's going to be profitable, and definitely have that chance to expand into a bigger business than just a small, what I want to say, backyard social media coffee company that we've created by just talking and FaceTiming. That's the plans for the next year.
The plan for next year is hopefully you stick with us and be patient with us through the whole year, and that will become very successful is our plan.
I just got to get comfortable on the camera. That's the biggest challenge that Mike and I are having. So trying to put out the media, the content that you require to reach out to our niche and get our demographics in order and get our following. So that is going to be the biggest hurdle for the next year, the next step in our business, to make it a successful business, pretty much. No, honestly, thank you. Like seriously, from the bottom of our hearts, being able to organize this it's not a little thing. It's a lot of moving parts, a lot of guidance that requires this to be successful. So hoping for the best, and once our launch date hits up and we start selling coffee, and yeah, start putting in that overtime, because this is just the first step. This was the baby step. Now it's
Newborn stage, right?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
newborn stage. You guys
It's
remember
a lot-
how that
lot
was?
of work.
Insane.
Oh my gosh, yeah, trust me. I mean, it was
So-
thank you very much. Thank you for putting up with us.
So this is gonna lead me into the CRM system that I am implemented into my business, TGS Marketing, that is on track to hit $1 million, $1 million plus dollars by the end of 2025. Because I had to do a few things to get here. It wasn't just waking up and then being like, okay, I'm ready to work. I'm ready. I mean, we do that every year. And we're like, oh, yes, now we're ready. New year, fresh start, yada, 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 yada. But we don't get nowhere, right? And how I operate, I'm very different when it comes to my business, because there's nobody that's going to be like, hey, Teresa, you have to wake up today and insert some data on the computer. You have to do this in the computer. You have to create some content. You have to do this. You have to do that. Nobody's going to do it for me. Only me, right? So the first thing that I had to do, okay, and I did a reel about this. So if you follow me on TGS Marketing, my Instagram, if you follow me at Teresa G. Cvac, okay, I did a reel, or I made a reel that explained this, but I'm going to explain it a little bit more right now, okay? So the first thing that I had to do, all right, to get me on track to $1 million plus by end of 2025 is cut all extra expenses. Obviously, firing those 3 salespeople brought my expenses all the way down. I mean, tremendously. That was the first. And then from there, I kept going. I kept cutting, all of the social media creation platforms that I was not using, a bunch of photo subscriptions that I wasn't using, ads that I was doing that I just, I didn't do them properly, but they were milking me, okay? I mean, my expenses alone last year were $5,000 plus a month. I mean, when I told my husband that my expenses were $5,000, he was like, how? From where? How are you paying this? I'm like, my business. But yeah, right now they are from $1,500 to $1,900 at most. My goal is not to let it pass $2,000, and that's with people that I have hired under me. Okay. Second thing, outsource. So here's the thing. All right, we want to hire so many people. Yeah, we understand that we need to outsource. We understand we need to hire people. We understand that. I understand that. But then again, I also understand that sometimes the funds aren't there. Sometimes we can't afford to hire someone. So we have to do it on our own until we can. And let me tell you something, that's what I did. I literally, once I was able to hire one person from the income that I was making, I immediately jumped on that. Once I did that, it just kept going. And let me tell you, yes, the first week of hiring somebody is a little, because you have to train them and you have to kind of like hold their hand a little bit. So it's kind of like, but once they are in, 6, 7, 8 a year plus, it's just much easier. Okay. You need to outsource the annoying things. See, I outsourced my content editing. I outsourced my content posting. I outsourced my my admin, which is like answering emails, the minute, tiny, annoying tasks. I outsource that, so I have more time. Because the thing is, that's the only way you're going to scale. Yes, you're going to grow, but you're going to be capped. And I'm just going to say this. You're going to grow, but you're going to be capped. You want to scale. Scale is making more and having more time in your hands. When somebody is booked and busy or busy all the time in your business, busy is not being productive. You need to be productive. Busy is not good. Okay, so if you want to grow, then obviously you're going to continue doing everything on your own. And obviously, guess what? That equals burnout. And like I mentioned in my reel, my time is precious because I have kids, I have a family, I have a home to take care of, okay? Number 3, you're going to get real fucking clear on who your target audience is, all right? And I mean down to their favorite color, down to their favorite foods, to their favorite drinks, to their favorite literally everything, what they don't like, what they like, everything, okay? Because whoever told you, and again, that you shouldn't niche down or you shouldn't niche down that much, it's a fucking moron. They are a moron. And all of these girls that I see on TikTok, they're like, oh, you don't have to niche, you just have to know who you are helping and what the problem you're solving. Moron. That is niching down. But the thing is, the more you niche down, like to the T, like you know who your people is or are, and that's it. That's when you're going to start winning. And you're going to see the fruit of your labor. You're going to see it. Because you're probably thinking like, man, if I niche down even more, if I go even smaller with who I help, then I'm not going to make money. You're wrong. You're going to make even more money. Because remember this. Always remember this. If you market to everyone, you are marketing to no one. Always remember that, okay? See, my target audience are military active people, veterans, or military affiliated people. And you're probably wondering why? Because those are the people that when I work with them, man, it is literally like walking on clouds. They understand me. I understand them. They get the job done. They're quick. They're proactive. They don't ask much questions. They just know. I mean, that's how the military works. So those are the people that I work with, okay? I'm not saying that I don't work with civilians and I don't work with, if you're someone or business owner who just needs structure, who needs, I need structure. Businesses all over the place. My tasks are all over the place. I'm not making any money. I'm not doing anything. I have no idea what I'm doing. I feel like I'm marketing to everyone and nobody's listening to me. Then we can work together because you're going to hate me. Okay, when we work together, you're going to hate me. But then again, once we're done, you're going to love me. And that's just, toot my own horn, okay? So number four, very important, okay? Something that you guys don't do, and I had to learn this the hard way, okay? Number 4 is price your products and your services to scale, all right? To scale. Like if you want to be a coach and all of a sudden 1 hour with you is like $500 and you're starting, I'm not going to hire you. I'm just not. Okay? Because your brand isn't old enough. There's no for me to say, you know what? This person knows what they're talking about. There's just not. So you need to price your services and your products to scale. So here's an example. I'm always going to use myself as an example because who else better, right? So 1 hour with me back in 2021, 22, and even 23, part of 23 was $99. So for an hour with me, just to chit chat, to ask for advice, anything like that whatsoever, was $99. Now it's $199. Okay, 90 minutes with me, which is a more topic centered, more of a strategy type, hence the name 90-minute strategy session. It used to be $897, but now it's $1,297. 10 weeks with me, which is my Structure Me Coach program, that used to be $2,500. And because I was literally booked out and I started becoming busy other than productive, I had to raise the price. So now it's $4,000. Okay. And something that I want to also let you know is that you need to price your services. You need to price your goods based on outcome. Not because it's pretty, not because it's what the competitor is doing and whatever, but for outcome. People will value the outcome 100 times more than what it looks like. And if the outcome is great, is excellent, and you love it, and they can see themselves doing it, and has worked, you can price your product, however much, because people will pay. People will, right? Number five, actually solve a fucking problem. Actually solve something. Don't just sit there and sell something just because you like it or you love it. You need to solve an actual problem. That is the only way your target audience will be begging to work with you. When I first started, okay, and this is before actually going training with a brand strategy coach and going to school for business, I would sell just because I'm like, hey, I think people need this. And guess what? People wouldn't buy it at all. So, actually solve a problem. Your target audience will be begging to work with you. Number 6, create memberships and subscriptions. Okay, if you don't know what you can do, please send me a message. Okay, because that is the real money maker. Yes, you could do one-off products, one-off services, but then that's it. You want continuous flow of income. So you need to do services that people need on a constant basis. Okay? All right? But just know that I have 3 more that you're probably going to be like, oh my God, I already knew that. But I should have known. Okay? Number 7, actually take days off. Listen, I used to believe in grinding. I used to believe that going hard, hustling, I used to believe in that. And what that got me, and it might be too much TMI, but I just want you to know that it's a real thing. It got me 3 miscarriages. I'm not even gonna lie. It got me 3 miscarriages. And once my 3rd miscarriage, I was just like, you know what? This is not right. I need some time off for myself. I need some time off for my family. Thankfully, my husband and I, we weren't like being disconnected because he understands, the work. And also I understand his work. I mean, being from the military, you work literally 24/7. You're always on call. So it's nothing like, oh, but you are doing this. And, we understood ourselves. But yeah, you need some time off. You need to schedule your time off. So once the beginning of the month, hey, schedule how many times you're going to be off. 1, 2 times a month, but you have to. It's important. Number 8, actually save your money. So if my mother-in-law is watching this and my father-in-law is watching this, okay, this is something that they always tell us right away. Not because, we don't save or anything, but it's just something that you tell your young children, save money. Like my mom would tell this to me all the time. She would be like, save your money. And I would just like blow it literally all the time, but save your money. And when I tell you that we actually started saving, it's an amazing thing. It's just such an adult thing. Okay. Because this correlates with point number 1, which was, cutting the extra expenses. When you cut off the extra expenses and you start saving it, your money starts growing. And this is both for personal and also business. All right. And number 9, which is the last one. Okay. There's an actual saying out there that goes, if you don't want their life, don't take their advice. If you don't want their life, then don't take their advice. I'm talking to you. If you don't want their life, don't take their advice. And this goes even as far as people close to you, people close to us, our family, our mom and dad, our brother and sister, our aunts and uncles, the tia, the aunt from, whatever. If you don't want their life, don't take their advice unless they're telling you not to be like them, to follow the other route, not to be like them. But if they're like, this is what I did and it took me this long, but I still did it, don't take their advice, please. If you don't want their life, don't take their advice, okay? But yeah, number five, I started my weight loss journey. Okay. And a little backstory when it comes to that. And this is not the last one. I thought this was the last one. But number 5, I started my weight loss journey. And a backstory when it comes to that. I was always a bit curvy. But before joining the military, so just to keep in mind, I'm a very tall person. Okay. I'm 5 feet, 8 inches. I'm very tall. For a woman, at least, I'm very tall. Okay. So before joining the military back in 2014, 2015, I was very curvy and I had to lose weight in order to be shipped out to basic training. So when I got down to 170 pounds, which was like the cutoff, like, okay, now you can get shipped, from being 190, almost 195, that was rough. So throughout the military, I was down to 160 pounds, which was heaven. Okay. That was lovely. Then I got out, I was pregnant. And when you have kids and, when you're always working and you're sitting on a chair and you're not really exercising, you're moving your body, but you're moving your hands, you are going to gain. You're going to gain weight. So, I let it pass. Years later, also one of the reasons why we couldn't get pregnant, a whole shebang. Okay. Finally, I started a journey back in 2022 or 2023. 2022, November 2022, of losing weight. And I lost almost 30 pounds. And guess what? I was pregnant with my last born now. She was born in July 2023. But now I said to myself, you know what? I'm not going to have any more kids. It's time. It's time to really take this serious and lose, first of all the baby weight that was it just came back, creeped on me, and take my health a little bit more serious. Yes, we can make all the money in the world, but if you don't take your health serious, you can't make all the money in the world. And not only that, you can't be with your family, and my girls, obviously I have a baby and she has a whole life. We have a whole life ahead. I want to be able to run after her. I want to be able to do a bunch of things and not breathe hard. Okay. So, that's a little vulnerable story from me. So I started my weight loss journey, and you're probably wondering, why do you blame your family then? And not to sound cliche or anything like that, but I want to make them proud and continue to make them proud, but also prove that I can do it. I can take care of myself, my health, my family, my kids, my husband, make tons of money, and also scale a business from the ground up. And so I hope that this inspires you. I hope that my story pretty much just inspires you to keep going. Like, it is not the end for you. It is literally not the end for you. You just have to make choices, better choices, sacrifice yourself. We all have to make sacrifices. We all have to do these things. But, one of the things I tell people, and I think about too, and I hardly talk about it, but when I do, is that we can't play the victim. I mean, we really need to, if you want something, if you want to reach a certain level, if we want to do something, yes, we may lack a part of our lives to get there, but if you know that you have to do that, like myself, now I had to take care of my health. I can't play the victim, like, oh, now I'm working so much, I'm making all this money, whatever, and I can't. No, I cannot. I can't do it, because then I won't be able to. This is all just for nothing. Literally, all for nothing if my health is just not good. Okay? So I hope this inspires you. I hope that this takes you places. I hope that, I was able to help you maybe understand a little bit, maybe just clarify some things. Who knows? Whatever it is, let me know in the comments and down below. Send me a message through Instagram, a DM at Teresa G. Cvac. And let me know what your thoughts on this episode is. Let me know, because I want to know if I'm able to just help people. You know what I mean? Just continue doing this because I inspire somebody at the end of the day. That is my goal. That is my dream. That's always been my dream. And so I will see you next week. Okay? Ciao.